Hello internet, and welcome to whatever number this vlog is. I have no idea right now. But the last time we chatted, what was I up to? I think I was in Santa Barbara at the time in the Cheshire Cat Inn, which was a very cute hotel. Anyways, the next day we visited Malibu, which is this really well-known beach that's kind of on the way to Los Angeles anyways. And it looked very tourist friendly. A lot of flat beaches and long beaches. I'm not sure how to articulate myself very well right now. I'm really not sure how to say it. I think it's a good place for people to hang out and go to the beach and lie there and stuff. It reminded me of Bondi Beach, only like not curved, just straight, but pretty much the same thing, which is great if you're into surfing, if you're into relaxing on the beach and all that great stuff. Me personally, I prefer more natural looking beaches because I just feel that they photograph so much better, and that's really the only reason I go to beaches in the first place, which is really great. It makes me sound like I'm really active and outgoing and stuff. Not really. I think after Malibu we decided just to come to the hotel and just pretty much rest. Toby had been driving quite a lot for the last 2 days, and so he really just needed to veg out and relax. So I did a little bit of exploring around the area, and first impressions of Los Angeles that night were not the best. I had not realized how many homeless people live in LA, and they like to talk to you and ask you for money in a rather non-friendly, slightly aggressive manner, and I'm not used to that. I thought I was kind of living in a city area by being from Melbourne. Well, Melbourne's kind of tiny in comparison to the rest of the world, and so I hardly ever see homeless people in Melbourne, just occasionally sleeping under bridges and stuff, but I've never really been harassed, and if I have been, it's always in a quite polite manner, so that was a bit of a shock. Toby tells me New York is even worse, which is a bit terrifying because I'm planning to go there next year. But now I'm feeling much better about it. I now realize I need to go to places with a car. I can't just foot everything, and that's fine. But I now understand why traffic here is so busy and kind of crappy, because everyone else is doing the same thing. And then the next day, which is today, we decided to go to Disneyland. I went to Disneyland when I was 5 years old, so that was a very long time ago, and apparently back then I loved it. Now, Disneyland seems to really be more aimed towards kids, let's just put it that way. If you're an adult who won't go on rides like me, because I get motion sickness so easily now, it's kind of depressing. There really isn't a whole lot else to do. I mean, I walked around, I took photos, but unless you're really into all the souvenirs and stuff, eventually the park kind of gets a bit boring. So it was good to go to, and we also went to the other one, the California Adventure Park, which was interesting, especially the one dedicated to the Cars movie. I got that one. But other than that, I don't know. I think my expectations were higher, and the park seems kind of small as well. Is it just me? I thought it'd be way bigger than that. Or maybe it was Disney World that everyone says is huge. After that, we basically just did a little bit of shopping. We went to Red Lobster, which is one of those places I really wanted to try because I hear about it all the time. And oh my gosh, how cheap is the food here? I think I've already said that in a couple of vlogs back, but I'm just always so shocked. I ordered a dish that had lobster and prawns on it, and it was incredibly cheap. I'm just amazed. Even with tip included, it's still way cheaper than Australia. So I'm just going to eat as much as humanly possible before I go back so I can just really enjoy the cheap food. Yeah, and now I'm sitting in a hotel room talking to you guys. So until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!